Welcome back to Pace Immigration, paceimmigration.com. Michael O'Rourke, immigration lawyer. Good to see you.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Very well, thank you. We've got a trip to Nigeria to discuss the U.S. EB-5 visa. You are a jet setter. You go all over the place. You go to the Far East. You go to South America. This time you're going over to Nigeria. You're going to join the illustrious immigration and citizenship lawyer, Rachel Brown, also a member of Pace Law Firm, and she will be with you in Nigeria this time. And you're going to be doing an event. We've got it on the screen here if you're watching on the YouTube channel. We've got December 5th, and we've got also December 7th in Nigeria. You can meet Rachel and Michael there to learn about the U.S. EB-5 visa. Great opportunity for immigrant investors. And Michael, I've got it up here on the screen. Tell us, give us a little taste of what you're going to be talking about there in Nigeria. What is the U.S. EB-5 visa?
So, without getting into a diatribe or a very deep analysis, EB-5 is a visa category where anybody who invests in the United States, either in a direct investment or in a regional center project, can come and petition to be a green card holder. It's a very passive investment type of visa, especially with the regional center visas. And it covers not only the investor, but their spouse and any children under 21. In general, what does it cost? It is expensive. Don't want to shy away from that. It is a minimum investment of $800,000, and that's in a project that's usually either a rural or an infrastructure project or a project in a high unemployment area in an urban setting. And then the other end of the spectrum is $1,050,000 investment, and that's like your condo tower in the middle of New York City or something like that. That's going to be more higher end luxury type project. But there are projects out there that span the gamut. There's oil and gas, there's ski resorts, there's a data center project that I know about. So there are all sorts of different types of investments that are pre-approved for the EB-5 program.
Right. We want to be clear about that, don't we? The U.S. EB-5 is a little bit different in the sense that if someone is thinking they can just come and invest in their own things separate from these regional centers, that's not the way it works. You have to invest in something that's already approved.
Yeah, so that's the regional center program. There is a direct investment path, but not many people do that. That we should talk about in a separate video. The majority of investors are passive investors in the EB-5 Regional Center program.
Okay, great. Let's talk a little bit further about it without giving too much away for the folks that are going to be visiting with you in Nigeria. We've got the EB-5 highlights here. The big one right at the top, direct path for green card and for family.
Yes. So the EB-5 is a direct to permanent residence program. It gives, on approval, a conditional green card for 2 years for the investor, of the spouse, and any dependent children. At the end of that 2-year period, they have to go and petition to remove the conditions on the green card and get a 10-year green card from there. It also puts them on the path to citizenship. Really, the benefit of EB-5 is that it's fast. There are visas set aside. Generally, we're looking at anywhere from about a year to 2 years to become a permanent resident. Therefore, that means you don't have to deal with visas, either getting visas or renewing visas. There are different investment options, as you put up on the screen. And something that we're seeing a little bit of a trend of in the U.S. is local governments trying to restrict foreign ownership of property. Of course, when you're a permanent resident of the U.S., that does not apply.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of upside to it. One thing we should make clear is it's not just a case of dropping off $800,000 or $1,050,000. I mean, there's a lot where you come in and where Rachel come in is you're looking at the path of the money, and they want to make sure the money is clean.
Exactly. We have to, and we do spend most of our time on the source of funds and ensuring that it doesn't have any taint from anything that's prohibited, and that we can have a clear path from where the investor obtained the money to where the investor is then investing the money.
Excellent. Okay, Michael. So that's a brief taste of the U.S. EB-5 visa. Of course, the big upside to it is the green card for the investor and their family. But Michael and Rachel will go into much more detail. So if you are in Nigeria and in those cities on those dates that we mentioned at the top there in that slide, be sure to visit with them. I know they'd love to see you. Michael, anything some questions you might want them to have in their head before they talk to you at this event?
Well, if they are going to come to the event, they should familiarize themselves with the projects that are out there. As a U.S. lawyer, I can't recommend a project. I have to work solely on behalf of the client, so I don't want to even create the idea that there could be a conflict of interest. But there are tons of projects out there. I think it's most important for people to think, okay, what are their goals? What's the life plan? If that life plan is going to the US, does EB-5 make sense for them in terms of the cost and where their money comes from? Is that going to mesh with what the rules are for the US? One of the great things that Rachel and I are doing as well is we're meeting some of our existing clients and some potential new clients and talking about all facets of US and Canadian immigration while we're there. So even though I'm going to speak on EB-5 at this one conference, both in Abuja and in Lagos, there are plenty of other ways to get there too. So, give us a ring. We can assess the situation and figure out if there is a pathway, and if there is, what's the best pathway for people who want to come to the U.S.
Excellent. Okay, Rachel Brown and Michael O'Rourke in Nigeria. It ought to be great. Michael O'Rourke, O'Rourke at pacelawfirm.com if you'd like to connect. Michael, thanks for this and safe travels.
Thank you so much, Sean. See you on the other side.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.